Hey guys, we're doing things a little bit more different today. We have some current events that are far more important than talking about Nature Boy all day that I wanted to share with the community briefly. This is a live commentary. Live, I will be commentating throughout this live. Um, Very unfortunate situation that happened a few days ago, and it's history repeating itself immediately after this tragedy with a young boy in the fifth grade, 10 years old, writes a threatening letter of pum, let's call that. I mean, they say it in the news what he did, but I'm not going to be using the SHOOT because we got to be very mindful of what's going on. So I'm just waiting for y'all to come in here. We're going to discuss it. I'm also going to give you the updates of an article that was a message from, I guess, the sheriff. He's not very happy with this young boy who threatened to pum, especially after all the loss of the 19 youngins that were taken out of this world a few days ago in Texas. They're not tolerating, they don't care how old these people are, these creatures are, they're not tolerating it. It has to be taken serious. And not only that, the police department are already under fire because people are allegedly saying that they waited too long to go in and save these children. And then we have someone under the age of 18 with threats of doing the same thing in another location to another bunch of kids that are not even teenagers, didn't even have a chance to live their life yet. So it's really disturbing, all of what's going on around the United States that we don't cover. The things that are really important, we don't focus on. And one being that this little boy needs help. And I say it all the time in my commentary videos that we need to see and know what our children are doing at all times and not act like this is not our problem, because it is. Hey sis. And we need to know what they're watching. We need to know how our kids are feeling. And we need to be part of the movement of what they're doing at all times. Yep, exactly, Sheba. Because if you don't, history is going to repeat itself. Now, I was trying to wait for a bunch of people to come into the live before I played this short little audio news article clip, which I thought was genius. In order for you to usually have to read an article, you have to read it. This was an audio of the article, so it summed it up. And I said that I would let you guys listen to what the article said, because right now, this situation with the 19 people gone and the 2 teachers was in Texas. Now this little fella here is out of Florida. So it's scary how these kids, their parents ain't watching what they're looking at on TV. He probably saw what happened in Texas, and he had a thought in his mind, and he said, I'm going to do this next. And his mind is not developed. This is what's so scary. So if there's any guns in his parents' house, best believe, I believe, because you have to literally believe these little ones when they say these things, that he may have went into school and did the same thing that this 18-year-old did, that nobody believed in his family that would have done it, because they felt as though he was a quiet kid. He didn't seem to have any issues going on with him. He stayed to himself, but they didn't know what was wrong with him. Why? Because he was a quiet kid and nobody asked him anything. We got to start asking our children, are they happy? Do they feel loved? What's going on in school? How are you getting along with your peers? You got to ask them these questions, and you got to make them comfortable enough to want to sit with you and tell you the real for deal, so that you can save these kids' lives from self-destruction. I don't know what they're going to do with this kid. I just got this gut feeling they're not going to prosecute this 10-year-old in the 5th grade. But I think they're going to make him scared so that he knows not to fix his mouth or even pick up a pen or a pencil to write down any threatening that you're going to pow somebody. Because I don't think that he realizes if he was to say one thing and do another, which is the action, he would be in jail for the rest of his life. He would go to what is it called? Detention center, and then when he was old enough to be with the big boys, he would go to adult jail and his life would be over. So now that we know that this one kid has a problem, what are we going to do to stop him or to help him so that he doesn't act on what he wrote down on that piece of paper? 5th grader said what he said, and now they're trying to blame it on what he may have saw on TV or heard that happened with the 19 innocent bystanders that were powed in elementary school. They're saying that he's getting this idea to attack in Florida where he lives because of what he's seeing on TV. I don't know if that has anything to do with the other, and I hope that we don't get blindsided with the fact that this young boy wrote a letter saying what he was going to do. Because what I really believe of all of this is that that little boy had a problem prior to the poom poom, the pum pum in Texas. I don't want to say what it is because YouTube be on some stuff. I believe the child felt this way prior to even what happened in Texas. And I don't feel as though we should blame it on what happened in Texas, why this kid said that. I think that this is a kid that has a problem. We're not going to downplay it and say, oh, it's because of what he saw in Texas. No, even if he saw something that happened in Texas, a kid that doesn't have problems is not going to write down in a letter a threat to pow somebody. A normal kid living a normal life, who their parents are involved in their life and they're disciplined, is not going to write something like that down, threatening to harm anyone. Only a child that is got some issues is going to write something like that down. And it's very disturbing because he's not even a teen. He's an adolescent talking horrific about something that he perhaps maybe would have done if the local authorities didn't get wind of it, dealt with the situation, put that little boy in handcuffs, and took him away. I don't know if they're going to put him in social services. I don't know if they're going to put him in the detention center. He is relatively young. I don't even think that they have a detention center for somebody that's 10 years old. He said probably getting, but you know what? You sound like my husband. He said he's probably was getting bullied. That's exactly what my husband said. And I'm cracking up because it's just weird that you said it. It's almost like my husband's behind like a troll page and he's getting up here saying it again to see how I was going to react. But no, my husband said the same thing. He said it's probably he was probably getting bullied. But they're trying to put, to me, they're trying to take the focus off of one thing onto now what this little boy's threat was. The difference between that little boy and what happened to them children, 19 children, is he made a threat. He didn't act it out. Now the person who took those 19 children out of this world, they had a plan in their head and they acted on it. And we can't bring those 19 back. But what we can do with this 10-year-old that's in the 5th grade is get him the counseling that he very so much needs, because he needs an awful lot of it. Anytime you're going to fix your mouth to say that or to write that or to feel that, there is an underlying issue. Now we're going to go to what the media is saying caused this little boy to write that threatening letter of harming, I guess, some of his classmates. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you feel as though the police did the right thing? Now, this is a serious topic. Everybody wants to come in here when it's about Natureboy. Now we're talking about something serious. Natureboy's already locked up. He's not a problem to the community anymore. But these people are people that we're talking about now, a 10-year-old who's talking about Pume and his classmates. So I want to ask, do you think the way the police handled going into that elementary school was the right way to do it? Do you think that they should have waited till the shooter finished up and then they went in to apprehend him? My opinion, I'm going to tell you right now. Right, kids like that do that. It's Ashanti. My opinion, I'm going to tell you this. I would have wanted them to go in there because that is what they signed up for. Those children they weren't armed to defend themselves. And by you waiting for the gunman to finish up, it would have been less fatalities, I believe, if they would have intervened. It would have taken the gunman off of the target. Yeah, the target would have now been redirected to the police, but it wouldn't have been on these children. And I'm not going to tell you, but this gentleman that's talking right now, I'm going to let you listen. I had to edit it out. Some of these kids couldn't even be identified in the face because they didn't have any face. Let's just keep it G-rated. They had to be identified through other autopsy measures. So it was a horrific tragedy what happened to these elementary kids. And for the parents not to be able to make the choice on their own to risk their lives to go in to save their children is a horrific situation as well. Because if the local authorities or whoever, the SWAT or whoever came to rectify this situation wasn't going to go in and put their life at jeopardy, why not allow these parents to go in and try to at least say they try to save their child? Can you really imagine being a mother or a father and you know your child is in that school and you know that you can't do nothing? And you also know if you don't go in there, which they would not allow them to, but if you don't go in there, your child's not coming back out. So you have a choice. You either go in there and save your child or your child's not coming back out. But when the choice is not given to you to go in there, it's absolutely no, you can't go in there. And the local authorities are not going in there. That is a tough pill to swallow. And that's all I have to say on that issue. He was misled, the governor, because the people who were talking to the governor on the phone, they were scared. So what would a scared person do, even if it is the police, the people that are supposed to protect you, protect and serve? They're going to make the governor think whatever they need to, that they're handling the situation so that the governor stays off their back, even though we know that's further from the truth. That's how in fear that they were to going in there. But what makes me so angry is there was only one gunman. You understand what I'm saying, Osun? There was only one gunman, and many of you with bigger guns and more guns to apprehend that one gunman. That is one thing you guys did know about that one individual that was in there, that it was one individual. And he had went and tried to take his grandmother's life first. That didn't work. She's, I guess, in critical condition. God is good. She survived. And then he went to this elementary school. He took his grandmother's truck and he went in there and pow. How are we that much in fear as people that are supposed to be protectors? How are we that much in fear of one man and there's many of you? They should have tried and saved. Right. I honestly think that they should have taken, they're wearing bulletproof vests. They have all the protection that one can have to be more protected than the gunmen and definitely more protected than the kids. And I don't understand how they still did not go in there and try to help these kids. I just don't understand it. When I think of it, it makes me sick to my stomach. They were taught this after what happened at that, I think it was a high school, the Columbine. They didn't do that. So I'm just wondering, you can't bring back the youngins, right? The 19 youngins that got pow. You cannot give these people back the youngins. You can't bring back the gunmen. What is going to be done for the people that were responsible at this time to save these youngins? What is going to be done in the present time? And what is going to be done to make it better so that this ball doesn't get dropped like this again? Because we're dropping the ball on the future. This is the future. And we did not protect the future. And I'm telling you, if that 10-year-old from Florida, if by any means he got the message of what happened in Texas and whatever he was already in his head thinking about doing in Florida, if he watched that news report in Texas, there's going to be plenty of kids that are going to think just like him, but they're not going to even talk about it. They're going to act on it. And we have to have things in place so that this does not happen again. Right. Olsen, I know where you're going with it. I'm trying to keep it G-rated. But you know, if it was another situation, they would have went in there and got theirs. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all know what I mean when I say that. And I believe the 10-year-old, and no, it ain't no I believe. When I read the boy's full name, his first, middle, and last name told the story. Mexican/Latino. If he's not Mexican, he's Latino. Marquez is his last name. When I seen it, I said to myself, boy, you should have kept your mouth closed because, honey, you are not the favorite. And they will treat you like an adult quickly because they ain't got no love for you no how. That's the last thing you should have been doing was what you was doing. And I'm just like, it's a shame. And I hope nobody in your house, I hope everybody got their green card because people are also going to be getting deported that's up in that house living. Everything that the system can do at this point because of what that little boy said out of his mouth is going to happen, honey. It's going to happen. This live that had nothing to do with Natureboy. I'm going to start doing commentary from A to Z on different stuff that's happening in and around the world and on social media with social media influencers as well. But also what's happening in the news. and we're gonna still do Nature Boy commentary. But I'm gonna stick to my guns that when I'm doing my Nature Boy commentary, I will do the Nature Boy commentary, because when you're not doing the Nature Boy commentary, people say they want to hear different events of current events of things that are happening, and they don't come and support. So they're full of it. Thank you, Miss Pooh Bear 54. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry, there was a minor interruption, but I really appreciate you guys for coming through. Like I said, I still will be doing my Nature Boy commentary, and don't care who don't like it, because every time I put up different content, you don't see none of them knuckleheads come through. Misled. Um, Only way a governor I would think would be misled with this whole situation is if they were telling them that they had it under control and that they were going in immediately to stop the gunman. That is the only way. Now, all this you telling the governor, we're waiting outside, we're waiting for the guy to finish up, then we're going in. If you told the governor that, then I'm gonna be side eyeing the governor, because for number one, your job is to protect and to serve. You should not have waited till he went on his little shooting spree and then went in there to call yourself saving these children. That is not how it goes. Now I understand people are human first and foremost, but that is not how it goes. They should have went in there while it was still going on and did what they had to do to, to take that gunman out of there. One way or another, I'm sorry to say that. But when you're in there and the people that you're attacking don't have any weapons to defend themselves, hey, you take them out dead or alive. And that's how I look at it. It's really devastating. And I'm telling you, it's been like a week and it just seems like I can't shake this. I could have, like, the first day that I heard about it that morning, brought it up. I didn't know how I was going to present the information, because it's devastating. It's just devastating, and it's senseless, and it's uncalled for, because I really feel that a lot of lives could have been saved if they wasn't waiting. Why doesn't it seem abnormal that an 18-year-old would want that kind of a rifle? Like he's about to start a war or something. I don't know. Me selling that gun, because I'm quite sure they can turn people away. It says they can't use it for hunting. I don't understand how whoever sold him that gun in the gun store, why didn't they question it, or maybe call the local authorities just to, you know what I'm saying, just to get off their conscience. Let's make sure that this gun is going to be used in the right way that this gun's supposed to be used, and not to be hunting down people, because whoever sold him that gun is not having good days right now. His conscience is not clear, because he sold him that gun And that blood is on his hands too, or her hands too. I thought I had my headsets in. I hate this. I hate recording without my headsets. Listen, my headsets sound much better. Now can But hey, I was in a rush to start this commentary video, and I just forgot to put them on. But listen, guys, thank y'all for coming through. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I'm definitely gonna need them likes today because it wasn't about Nature Boy, and nobody wants to hear about real events of other things that are happening that are far worse than the mess that Nature Boy is doing in this community. So thank y'all for coming through. Love y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow because one monkey don't stop no show. Mwah. Love y'all.